How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Loose Cannons podcast. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Hit the like button, hype the video, subscribe. Individual channel links in the description below. And this time, there's only 3 channel links in the description because we've got someone bigger than YouTube in the building tonight. We've got someone, big in the UK scene from early in the building tonight. Ashley Walters in the building. It's a proud moment for us, Ashley.
Yes. All right, proud moment for me, guys. Proud moment for me, fellas. Trust me. You don't know how weird this is, like being in one of these boxes that I watch every day, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's an honor, man. Turkish, I followed your journey for a minute now. Jordan, we've been having a chat here and there. James, I'm a big fan. You know what I mean? Your knowledge is second to none. I learn a lot from you guys. So yeah, man. It's good to be in the building. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Jordan.
Sorry, can I just lose composure for a second? Are you guys taking that in?
Bro, you're talking to me, James. James, this guy, I know him as Asher D. You don't even know who Asher D is. You don't even know who Asher D is. That's how far back we go in terms.
I was gonna say, I'm not none of this Ashley Waters nonsense. It's Asher D for me, right? Because I grew up, right. So I'm into drum and bass music, but I started off in garage. So my first raving experiences were Exposure, Coliseum, Vauxhall every other month. I'm assuming actually you were there, right? You must have been going to Exposure back in the day.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So those that know about Exposure will know that era of UK garage was hot, and you and your crew were synonymous with that period of UK culture. Let me tell you, this is mad for me. This is mad for me right now.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Because it goes under
history.
It goes under the radar as well because you've moved on from that era so much, and when people talk about you, it's more about the acting side of your career. The musical side goes under the radar, but you and obviously So Solid were pioneers of UK music, and it was a big moment. The whole movement, So Solid, was a big moment, going #1. The hits, the album, all of that. So. A lot of younger fans online won't know about that.
They don't know
your impact.
They don't know.
James is already falling asleep when you lot talking about this. He's like, what?
No, that's Jordan's 8 a.m. start. If it were up to me, we'd be doing this at 10 a.m. and
yes,
No, but honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing to have you on, man. Like, really is. Thank you.
It's good to be here. Good to be here, bro.
100%. And obviously we're here because of the common love for Arsenal, so that's what we're here to talk about, people. But obviously, listen, just before we do move on, because it's such a special guest, obviously you know what Ashley Waters is about, and 1,000 Blows comes back in January. Season 2 comes back in January, so people look out for that. It's on Disney Plus for UK viewers, and Hulu for American. And if you've got Proton VPN, then you can watch it wherever you are. But yeah, if you don't know about 1,000 Blows, that's Ashley's directorial debut. And it's quality as well. Season 1 was quality about a couple of Jamaican immigrants coming over to the UK, late 1800s. The boxing scene, Stephen Graham's in it. So really, no more needs to be said. Ashley Waters is directing, Stephen Graham's in it. It's about boxing. It's in the UK. So show some love, people, when it comes back. Make sure you're ready after watching Season 1, which is already out. Long time. Jordan.
Sorry, just to kind of segue to Netflix, kind of. Ashley, have you seen Griselda? Did you watch Griselda?
Yeah, coach. Yeah.
What did you think?
Oh, Griselda.
Yeah,
I think it's a cold show.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that you said that, because when I said it on the podcast, a year ago,
is there an argument about this?
No. You miss Arsenal games to watch it. That's the problem. It's not. No one ever said it wasn't a good show. We said, why are you missing like Arsenal PSG to watch Griselda?
No, it's pretty good, and I did watch the game. I just watched it after Griselda.
No, this is what not Griselda Jordan, after the game.
I don't know whether that narrative is true or not. Like the whole.
Let me just say,
he watched the football. No, hold on. I can't really take your word for it at this point. You've proven that you're a liar, brother. come on now. Remember, I watch every show. I watch every show, bro.
Best guess so far.
You're a disgrace, because this one was.
You're going down that road now. You're doing that. All right, cool. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for
Come
it.
on. Come on.
The way he
But
used
yeah.
it as his last play, he realised he was losing Ashley Walters. Best guess so far.
Yeah, you just threw it in there. Cold.
Come on,
Oh,
come on.
yeah.
But listen, it's another win, another clean sheet in the Champions League. Top of the Champions League group stages with 6 games gone, 2 games left there, but that's January, right? Inter Milan away and Kairat at the Emirates. So I think we're pretty much secured in our top 2-3 position. I think one more win secures it all, top spot. But we'll see how that goes in January. We're here to talk about Bruges, the rotation, the win, and everything in between. And then obviously Wolves this weekend too. A week that we all looked at as a light week in comparison to weeks before. A week we can rest, a week we can rotate, a week to fill your boots, and a couple players understood the assignment, and we got a healthy win. I mean, Jordan, James, Ashley, you know, we usually start with someone that's gone to the game, but we don't have the pleasure of someone that's gone to the game today. But James, let's start with you, because I was watching your player ratings, and you know, we agreed with some, we didn't agree with others in terms of individuals, but in terms of performance, that's what you want to see in the Champions League. You can rotate away from home, clean sheet, get the win, and just keep it moving.
To be fair, we were closer on the player ratings for this one than we were the last time we jumped in. That one, we were all over the place for that one. Yeah, look, it was like a perfect night without it being a perfect performance. So, I mean, what did we get that we wanted? Rotation, 90 minutes for Lewis Skelly, no injuries. Waneri got on the pitch, a debut for Marley Salmon. Madueke looking sensational. 2 great goals. Well, the first one's a great goal. The second goal's a great goal through Zubimendi's work, but he does well to be at the back post and score. Martinelli, much better second half. Thought first half he was actually the worst player on the pitch for us. Second half was sensational. The only thing we didn't get was a GYOKERES goal and him coming to life in the way we hoped. But Gabby Jesus came on and said, let me remind you all who weren't putting me in the squads or weren't talking about me playing a part this season. Let me remind you all that I've got a part to play. I don't think we need, there's 2 things. Let's not get carried away about Jesus, how good he looked, because, you know, we've seen Jesus look good. But at the same time, what's that, Tosh?
We're starving, so anything is something. Not to discredit the cameo, but yeah.
Well, there's that, but then also at the same time, for that to be your first 20, 30 minutes in an Arsenal shirt away in the Champions League post ACL is also in itself like very, very, very impressive. So great night. I'll keep it at that and we'll go into more detail. But, you know, was the performance perfect? No, there's 16 shots on our goal, right? I had to work really hard. But you've asked Norgard to do a job at centre-back. I thought he was great, by the way. And you've basically just done everything to rotate. You know, he was pulling off defenders just to keep them fresh, because a lot of people wondered why Zubimendi played 90 minutes. And I thought that too for a second. But you've got to think about it, that's the one area of the pitch he's actually got some depth right now. You know, on the weekend, he could play Rice and Marino. He'll probably play Rice with Eze and Odegaard in front of him. He can do a few different things. Whereas in defence, man, he can't afford another injury. Hence Norgard playing. So I think he just thought, let me just take Nkapie, White, all of those off and protect them and get some minutes into the legs of others. Calafiori looked good at centre-back. And a 16-year-old Marley Salmon getting a debut. I mean, what a story. So, yeah, loved it. Great night. Great night. We weren't perfect, but the night was.
Actually, I see you nodding. I mean, you've watched it. Routine win, makeshift lineup, but that's how you want it in the Champions League, right?
Yeah, bro. I went into this one vexed, to be honest. The weekend, the Villa game that upset me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, not in a way where I was like, you know, not anyone, well, there were specifics, but just in general, kind of coming out of that, you just kind of want to go into this with a win, and it kind of puts that doubt in your mind, doesn't it? Because before, if we won that Villa game, there'd be no doubt in our mind that we're gonna win this one. But I went into this one like, boy, this could be a bit techie. Do you know what I mean? It's like that started to creep back in, and no doubt at times it was, bro. At times it was.
Yeah.
The rotation didn't fully do what the rotation's meant to do in that sense, and we were on the back foot quite a bit. Granted, I was in and out of the game because I was doing something at the same time, but like, every time I looked at the screen, I'm seeing man starting back like everyone, you know what I mean? So the pressure was on for quite a bit of the game. But we got the job done. I love that Madueke, because I think how much did he play in that Villa game? Not that much. Well, that much, was it?
He played like maybe the last 10, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone got onto him, didn't
was-
they, for side footing into the net.
Well, do you know what? I watched something that was like off the ball, and the camera was on him quite a lot on the game, and he looks like he has a confidence issue, bro. There's some sort of confidence stuff going on. Like, I think even when, like giving it back to other players, when their players are like giving it to each other, or whatever. I see him with his head down a lot. I see him kind of like fake smiling things away when he makes mistakes and whatever. And I think there's some sort of confidence thing there, which is why last night it felt like, because the guard had changed, he felt a bit more confident in that space or whatever, and it gave something else in his performance. It might be me going a bit too deep, but I look into those things, innit?
I think he is sorry to
Go
cut
on.
you, bro, but I think he's a confidence player. That's one of the things that Chelsea fans told me coming in, and I can't lie to you, the platform he had in terms of confidence and pressure coming into this Arsenal side, it was one of the rockiest platforms you could have coming into a new side, right? So I assume that was going to have an impact in some way, shape, or form, but these are the moments he needs, bro. I've gone past that. I think we come from an era where 90-minute performances were sought after. What are you doing for 90 minutes? I don't think football is like that anymore. I think it's what are you doing in the moments you have in that 90 minutes. And if I look at him like that, then I think we can have a player on our hands. But if we look at it from a side where we want a 90-minute performance out of him, I think that's where maybe, he's not quite that player.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's like, I guess the point I was trying to make was about like turning up in every big moment. I feel like slightly for them, there's less pressure on this game, isn't there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think that's where Arsenal go wrong. That's what I see. I think we've got the best, like we're in the best position we can be. Do you know what I mean? We haven't been in a better position than this in a long, long time. But I think what we're lacking is there's like 10% of a mentality thing that is just lacking in that club, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And it just trickles down from the top. And no matter the personnel, no matter who you change, who you put in there, they're gonna feed off that same negative energy. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why we're not getting across the line. And that's what I'm seeing, I guess, in Madueke and in some of the players, is that that oomph to just drag it over. And it's a tough thing. I have to do it in my job every day. Do you know what I'm saying? Every day I have to go into meetings and pretend like I'm the best before they know I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? To get the job done. And I think these guys, they need that, innit? It's hard when you haven't seen it before, you haven't crossed the line before, like you don't know what that feeling is like. But now they have to just smell blood and be like, we're getting it. We're taking that no matter what. And I think that's missing. That's missing throughout the spine of our team.
Yeah. I said that in the last show. I said the honeymoon period is over for the new signings and for the team in general, because judging from the way you're speaking, you wanted and maybe you expected that our gap to Man City would have been a bit greater than the 2 points it currently is at this moment in time. But before we delve into Premier League looking forward, Jordan, you watched the game hopefully, and
See, you're just feeding the propaganda now. You're just feeding the narrative. These trolls don't need no help. Like, I watch every Arsenal game, sometimes twice, right? Let's just dead this argument that I don't watch. I love watching Arsenal games, even when they're dead, right? So I did watch the game and highlight. How about that?
Wow.
Full game and the highlights.
I don't know. Netflix is popping right now, so I don't know.
It is popping. I did finish P. Diddy last night. Though. Whoa,
I knew it. That's what I was gonna say. The Diddy documentary.
Whoa.
Fire. What?
I knew
Hey,
it.
you know what?
Knew
Turkish. I can't do this, Sorry, mate. I'm off.
I'm not even a pause guy, right? I'm too old for that stuff. But even I've got to pause on that one.
That one was flammable, bro.
Let's get back to football. Zooming out for a second, we just need to big up the fact that the campaign has been flawless, right? 6 games, 6 wins, 1 goal conceded. Am I right, James?
Yeah.
Bayern Munich. That's all right. Some of these teams aren't the best teams in the world, but they're not crap. Atletico Madrid, Club Brugge. I've been in their league doing quite well, so I'm told. We smoked Bayern Munich. Who else did we beat, James? Help me out.
I mean, they did sack their manager, but yeah.
Okay, scrap that bit then.
No, but sorry, they might be doing well, but they sacked their manager 2 days before playing us.
No, third in Belgian league. If that's
they're third. All right, so my sources are crap there. But my point is, let's just not gloss over the fact that we've qualified very, very, very easily. And the start of the season, I did say I want to wrap up this league ASAP. We've qualified now. Now it's about, do you care about coming top or third? I don't. I'd be resting players in these last 2 games or rotating players. These last two, we've done the hard work. So I just want to kind of just zoom in out for a second. What we've done is a little bit of a madness.
Do you think? Do you think because finishing top 2 means all your away legs are in the second leg, all the way to the final? That's an adjustment they made off last season. Are you one of the things that is a better position?
I don't personally think. I think there's too much made psychologically of this whole second leg is better to be at home thing. I don't think that's a big thing. You got Offset is that preferential to resting players for those 2 final games, and of the 2 options, I'd rather sacrifice top 2 spot if it meant getting some of our key players a game off. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that bothered about finishing top 2. If we do, great. But we saw with Liverpool, you can finish top and then still get a mad draw. So I think the hard work's been done. Let's give Rice a couple of games off in the Champions League now. Let's give Saka, let's give some of these guys, let's give Jesus some minutes in these last 2 games. That's what I'd be doing. So just big picture, big up Arsenal. On the game itself, what I loved about this game was the wingers, Madueke and Martinelli. They did what I've really wanted for a long time. They aggressively were cutting inside and getting shots off. Do you know what I mean? Okay, they both scored bangers today, and two brilliant goals. But I just missed our wingers aggressively getting the ball. I'm driving at you. I'm taking you on. I'm getting a shot off, and we saw quite a lot of that yesterday. And as I mentioned, 2 good goals off the back of it as well. That's what I wanted from Martinelli last year. I'm getting the ball. I'm cutting in. I'm shooting on goal. Hardly saw it last year. He's been so much better at it this year. Big up Madueke, because unlike some players who we're going to get to in a very, very short period, he's seizing moments to showcase what he can do. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the biggest Madueke fan in the world, but I think the guy's got quality. The guy's got assets that we can use. You know, that first goal is a really good goal. Get off me, driving through 2 man, bang, crossbar in. That's a bad boy goal. That's a really good goal. I want to see more of that, hopefully on the weekend and going forward. It's not the kind of goal Saka scores. Do you know what I mean? Saka scores a different kind of goal. That kind of aggressive, I'm going to just drive through you and just bang it near post from distance, which I think is another point I want to make as well. Scoring goals from distance outside the box. We don't score enough goals from outside the box. So to get 2, I thought was definitely a good sign going forward. Big up Odegaard, as James mentioned, doing a job. That's the best way to put it. He did a really good job at centre back. And that buys some more time for players to come back. The Saliba thing I want to say, I'm a bit worried, boys. I said in the last podcast that I keep hearing from Arteta, he's a few days away. He's a few days away. He should be fit for the next game. We heard that for the last 2 matches, and he's not started. He's not featured at all. And he didn't. This might have been a thing of, we don't need you. Stay at home. You're good for Wolves. I hope it's that. But if he doesn't play against Wolves, I'm a bit concerned because we need Saliba back in that back line ASAP. So big up Odegaard, but I was a little bit concerned that Saliba didn't even travel to Belgium. So that's that as well. Nwaneri, I thought had a good cameo. I thought Nwaneri came on and was quite good. I'm a bit concerned about his long-term future. I won't lie. I don't see in a year's time how he starts in this Arsenal team. And I think he's too good to be on the bench. And I think he will be in a year's time too good to be on the bench. And lastly, I want to big up Gabriel Jesus, who I wrote off. I don't have any faith in Jesus' fitness record. I have zero faith in his record at all. But when he came on, he did look really good. And I think it's a little bit embarrassing that after 6 transfer windows, he's still our best forward. 6 transfer windows gone, and he is still our best forward. That is not good. That is bad recruitment from the club. So while I've got
you're right,
it's bad, James. How can you be 6 transfer windows in and you bought the attackers you bought, and he's still our best one? and I've got no faith in his record injury wise. So I don't like that. But while he's playing, while we've got him, let's utilize him. And I thought he looked really lively. It was blowing at the end, understandably so, but it was good to see him back on the pitch.
That might be right. Might be right. I think it's only right to start on Madueke though, in terms of delving into player performance, because he got man of the match. He got a couple goals, a banger at that, as described by Jordan, and a header at the back post. You got to be there to tap those ones in. A beautiful ball by Zubimendi. I actually think Madueke and Zubimendi were the stars of the show. James, I saw on your player ratings you put Zubimendi just behind in an 8 out of 10. Whereas I gave them both 9s. I just thought Zubimendi was a class above on that pitch. Like, it's just he just oozed class. I just think he was always comfy. He always got out of what he needed to get out of, and he done it with aplomb. It's not like he done any. Well, I mean, the cross was amazing. You know, the first assist was a simple pass, even though it goes down as 2 assists in the game. I just felt like every time he had the ball, it was just cool, calm, collected, as it normally is. But against the Bruges side, where we've rotated so much, I think his calmness and presence stood out more. But Madueke was a difference maker, because I think Ashley said it in the first 25 minutes last night. When you're looking at a forward line that's there to, you know, to show how hungry they are, they should be chomping at the bit. I didn't see enough in that first 25 minutes, right? Madueke was the only one. I was actually very disappointed with Martinelli and GYOKERES in that first half. Madueke was the one that had the moments, some success rate. Sometimes it didn't go too well, but he just kept on going. He's the one that understood. I said it before. He's the one that understood the assignment. This is Bruges. This is a chance for me. I'm not going to start off while Saka's fit, but when I do start, I need to do something. So I'm the one that's next in line. I'm the one that's thought of next when, you know, we need something else off the bench. And I think overall in the 90 minutes, that's what he done. But in that first half in particular, you could just tell that, you know, that was the difference between him and Martinelli, GYOKERES, who just still looked. I don't know what it is with those two, because even though Martinelli got the goal in the second half, I still feel like that kind of, you know, if Madueke understood the assignment, Martinelli caught up late and then, you know, still passed the test because of that second half performance. To be honest, GYOKERES looked like he brought a calculator to an English exam. That, you know, if we're talking assignments and exams, he looked all over the gaff. But yeah, Madueke, star of the show. Well deserved, but it's also not disappointing. It's frustrating that it comes on the side where there's no chance of change. Saka is our right winger, so it'd be nice for our left winger or striker to be doing what Madueke done last night, because when push comes to shove, we have to start one of them really, because Madueke is not the same on the left hand side. He just isn't the same player.
You're right. Sorry, you say there's no chance of a change, but Saka should and will start on the weekend. But if that makes Saka just think, whoa, okay, all right, I need to
I don't
score
know
some
if I
goals.
start Saka on the weekend, you know. I don't know.
That's what I was going to say.
Go on. No, go on.
Now, I was just going to throw in the mix. Like, is Saka doing what Madueke is doing when he's on it?
I do.
Because listen. Look, I don't want to get into this whole Saka's elite. We know that. Elite, consistent, cold. But sometimes I think he's a bit mundane, bro. Like he's just a bit nullified. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it just feels a bit robotic. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't see him like even trying to. Like, it's never about, I'm gonna try and take this, brother. There's a bit of space there. Let me try and outrun him, knock it around him, or what. Like, he doesn't think like that anymore. He's lost that, bro. So he's been doing the robotic thing, and you know, it's always, it's like it's quite predictable at times. He does it well, but it's quite predictable at times. I think Noni, when he is on it, because he's definitely inconsistent in my opinion, but when he is on it, you see some sort of flair that we've been missing, I think, from Saka for a long time. People may shoot me down for this, but that's my general opinion.
The Arsenal fan base is very defensive of Saka, to be fair, very protective of Saka, because I would say that I think he does take on his man, but the problem is that teams are constantly going 2-3 players around him, that the best thing for him to do is to come back inside, keep it moving, and actually try find a way around a team with Odegaard, with White, with Eze, with Timber, kind of combining to find spaces and beyond, rather than what we saw Noni do last night, which is basically destroy the fullback. Now, to be fair, I think in the Champions League, there's a little bit more scope to do that. I wonder, and I don't think people will like this, but can Saka develop into another position? And I don't mean that in a, oh, Madueke's playing well, so we have to move you. I actually mean it as more of a compliment to Saka. I look at some of the best forwards in the game, like ever, and they've all moved positions, and often they moved up front. And you're all going to think I'm crazy, but Salah played up front, Mane played up front, Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the greatest to ever do it, moved up front. Now, I don't think he's got similar attributes to all of them, but Saka's strong, he's good in the air, he's two-footed, he's a good finisher. Like, could you move him around the front line? Not because you're going, oh, Madueke has looked good, so we're going to sacrifice you, but because you can platform him in a different way to get another different skill set and maybe get another level out of him. Now, I think that's a conversation for the future. I don't think that's now. I don't think off the back of a good game against, Bruges, we should be completely changing Saka's identity. But I just wonder whether he might evolve, because his numbers can be so good that and there are gaps in the rest of the team to a degree. I'll just put that out there. And like I said, I mean that as a compliment to Saka. But yeah, ultimately, it's not a bad thing for him to have pressure behind him in Noni Madueke taking his opportunities when he comes in. So it's a good problem. We just need the left-hand side to get to that level too. Trossard's carrying it at the moment. But wouldn't it be great if when Trossard's out, Martinelli, to be fair, second half was very good, but gives that for 90 minutes to a point where you're thinking, I might start Martinelli on the weekend. Whereas we're all going now, if Trossard's fit, Trossard should still keep that shirt. But good problem.
I think you talked about evolving. I think Saka evolves by using the competition to become a better player. It's the first time he's seemingly had good enough competition that actually is right, offers something different. Madueke is a lot more electric, right? He's our most electric winger. Like that's what he is. That's the difference between him and the rest. And I guess that's why we brought him. Most progressive ball carries. I think he was top 3 last season. He's fast with it in the transition. But what he has to do is just knock on the door. And what Saka has to do is make sure that door is shut. Because listen, we've talked about attackers a lot in the past 2 weeks, and we've all landed that Trossard being our best attacker probably this season. And it's always a probably. It's not an out and out. And we've all spoke of how important it is that an attacker needs to be the man, especially for a title winning side. You never have a title winning side without an attacker being the man. So Saka needs to use that and kick on. I'm not really entertaining different positions for him, even though he could. He has left back, number 10, left wing, right wing already in his career. So I know he can do it. I also know that the best version of Saka has come on that side. We haven't seen the best version of Saka for a little while. This is maybe what he needs to come out a little bit, because as much as that goal was a banger, don't get it twisted. Anyone who's played football, even at Sunday league level, when I used to be on the bench and I used to see the striker banging in a goal from outside the box, I'm happy for him, but I'm also like, I got to make sure I do my thing when I come on this pitch, because that guy's in my position, banging them in like that. That is the mentality that he needs to have. So maybe he does start Wolves, and maybe he takes that bull by the horns and kicks on Jordan.
Yeah, just to kind of talk up for Saka just a little bit, because it's funny when you said there we all agree that Trossard has been our best attacker this season, and I've said that as well. So I'm not criticizing everybody else.
Now he's coming to say, I disagree.
No. It's not. I've said that too, but I guess what the point I'm making is that when you really think about it, Saka's performances, and this is why I'm not so sure about Madueke over Saka, going back to Ashley's points, because I think Saka's floor is higher than Madueke's floor. Maybe their ceilings are
100%
debatable. I mean, I don't think it is, but you could argue Madueke's best is maybe on par with Saka's best, but Madueke's worst is a lot worse than Saka's worst. And it goes back to the point that I think James made on the last pod, where I was saying I thought it was the right decision to sub Saka because he was booked, right? And when they were trying to get him sent off, you could tell. But James, you said just having Saka on the pitch is a threat. And I think the comment said it as well, that having him on the pitch in of itself is a threat to Aston Villa. When he's on the pitch, Saka's got that deep back post cross. We've all seen it. So Saka can have a really poor game, but do that back post cross and someone taps it in. We've all seen it. We know that he's got it in his locker. So I guess what I'm saying is, even though I think Trossard might have more obvious moments and goals that make us think he's been better this year, how many corners have we scored from Saka's corners? How many times Saka had a bit of an average game, but has got an assist at a really key point? So I don't think we should overly I think we should challenge
this
the
season,
idea.
he's only got 1 assist this season.
I was only 1 this season.
Open play, I think only 1.
Well, how many has he put on the plate for your boy, the Glock? And he's put over the bar. I mean, we got to count.
Now
Anyway,
you're trying to.
All right. I'm just saying. I think Saka doesn't always do the thing that is obviously great, but I think he bubbles in the background. He's always a threat. So he needs to do better. I agree. The challenge from Madueke last night has been thrown down to Saka to raise his level. I agree. But I just think just because Saka doesn't do a madness every single game, that doesn't mean he's not playing well. I guess is my point. Go on, James. Go.
You always credit me with great quotes I never said.
You did. Oh, no, you said that we should. Or was it Dylan? Was it Dylan said it? Maybe Dylan said it.
Maybe.
You're lucky. He makes them great quotes, but yeah.
No, well, somebody.
Honestly, he pulls out some like history level quotes and goes, I think it was James who said it in the 1800s. Like,
is Dylan White?
Yeah.
What's that?
Is Dylan White?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Jordan. That is so racist, man.
Don't do that.
That's racist. I can't believe it. You
know what's bad?
If that was the other way around.
Hang on. Whoa.
HR's getting the call.
I got Turkish. You know what's bad? Dylan did say it as well. What did he say?
Oh, man.
I was sat there going, I stopped and I went,
all right.
I remember thinking Madueke was a great sub. And Jordan's there going, I remember James saying, wrong thing to bring Madueke on. I'm thinking.
Listen, I'll wait for the call later. The HR call's coming in.
Actually, you're a bad man. You're a bad man.
Sorry to highlight Jordan's racism. Sorry.
No worries, man. We take those issues serious on the loose cannon. So
I'm glad someone called it out.
Ashley's coming for your spot, Jordan. I can't lie. The next call, you might be out of it. You might be out of it. We got Ashley here full time.
Never. Jordan's the king, man. He's king.
I want to.
Glock watch.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to start with Ashley on this
because
it's better to get a fresh perspective, in my opinion, before.
What are we talking about? GYOKERES?
Yeah.
GYOKERES. I mean, listen, he's not for me, guys. He's not for me. I never saw it working. Like, not like I never saw it working. You can't deny what he comes with. You know what I mean? And what he's given us. There's no doubt in my mind that he's stretched play for us. He's made it slightly easier for the rest of our attackers, giving the other teams a focal point to distract them from Saka at times and whatever, which is great. But I thought we were getting a killer. Thought that's what everyone was talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, this guy's going to be a killer. So in my mind, I'm thinking, and I know this might be high expectations, but I'm thinking Haaland. I'm thinking, this guy's going to come through and do some madness. Do you know what I mean? The way everyone's talking, the way we're all hyped about it, and it just hasn't lived up to my expectations, if I'm honest with you. But I do value what he's brought to the team. He has offered, there is another way that we can play now, and that has been beneficial to us, but just not directly through him. And I just don't know whether he's the guy. Like, I can't see it. I think it's been a bit worse since he's come back, to be honest. Like how he's looked. Obviously, we've got to give him time to settle back in, having being off and that. But yeah, not working for me. That's where I am.
That's the most frustrating thing about it, is that you are right. I don't disagree with the praise you've given him for what he does, but it wasn't enough for Havertz. It wasn't enough for Jesus. What you do without the goal scoring, like, that was always the issue. Whether it's Havertz creating space or Jesus the ability to take it back to goal, swerve either way and take 2 defenders out of the game, it always came back to the goals, the 20 goal. We need a striker that just bangs them in, the killer, like you said. So
can I be honest?
Yeah.
Sorry, Turkers. I keep on cutting in, but I'll even be critical over Jesus last night. But because that's the sort of person I am, innit? I demand a lot. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know for 2 years.
No, but bro, it was those 2 shots epitomize what has always happened with him for me. It's never enough power. never accurate enough. It's always at the key. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know he's just getting back in, but you can't lie that it's just like he's carrying on from where he left off. Like he's electric, he's got all of this stuff, but the shot ain't that great at the end. Or do you know what I mean? It's like, and that's for me, that's what it was. And I think Arteta, I think James slightly alluded to it earlier, maybe, but he's got a bad track record with number nines, man. Like with strikers, bro. There's a bad thing going on here. Like the coaching up there don't seem to be as good as the coaching down there. Like for some reason, I don't know what's going on, but it just doesn't work out. And Gyökeres for me is another extension of that, really.
I
Yeah,
think
it's a shame to see how well oiled our defense and structure is in general. It just feels like it's always the attack that seems to be that last door we're struggling to unlock, and with the defensive injuries over the past few weeks, that's come more to the forefront. And someone like Gyökeres, who we bought to help change things up, our fortunes up in front of goal. James, it's just not. I don't know. I know you had a different perception on your play range. I think you still said poor, but he linked up play well in the first half. But you get what I'm saying about. I'd be a hypocrite if I sat here and talked about him linking up play and running into the channels. Havertz invading space was not enough for me. So I'm not going to sit here and wax lyrical about Gyökeres, 100-goal striker coming in and getting involved in a few duels and stretching a team. And that can only go so far. It's something needs to change. And this was the week for Gyökeres to change it. Bruges and Wolves this weekend. Now I'm looking at Wolves this weekend and saying, if I judge it off this game, Jesus probably deserves to start up front in that game.
Look, I've defended Gyökeres a lot to a point of rewriting history. Like I wasn't even that keen on wanting the guy. Like even in the summer, I was like, look, I'll probably lean towards Sesko, but if we adapt how we play, then Gyökeres might be the guy. But I've defended him to.
Oh, you done a tactical analysis breakdown. The whiteboard came out. Sesko was there. You see, James, just the attributes.
Listen, we all have work. We all have to show up and do our bit. And I understood the assignment, and I delivered a world-class breakdown on another terrible striker. So there we go. Actually, what's aged poorly, man, is how we were all going Sesko, Gyökeres, and Ekitike was one we should have gone for. Like that's what's so weird.
Watermada.
Mate, Watermada.
Newcastle United and Liverpool all signed strikers better than us this summer. All of them. Sorry, James.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll be a broken record if I go on again about the things I do like about Gyökeres, and I think the things he does well, and I think Ashley's touched on that. So there's no point in me saying it again. But patience runs thin when there's others knocking on the door looking a bit better. Ultimately, now when basically it was Gyökeres or Marino, I valued more the running the channels, the hold up, the stretching the game, the midfielders looking like they're benefiting from you and the team. And look, for the sake of balance, in the 3 away games he didn't start, Sunderland, Chelsea, Villa, we didn't look great and we didn't win any of them. And his last few away starts, Bruges 3-0. I'm not saying that's because of him. I'm just saying there's some kind of pattern and trend that when he leads the line, Burnley away, Newcastle away, there's something of a balance that I prefer in the team. But I agree. I need to see more. He doesn't impose himself on games. And you find yourself making excuses, which I do and I did. And then Jesus comes on and runs in the channels and holds up the ball and links up. But he does it with a flair and a movement. I mean, we look like 22-23 Arsenal at times in that second half. Some of the one-touch quick football between him, Saka, Ben White, I was like, oh, we're back. We've got an inverted left back. We've got Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, front three. It felt nostalgic in a way. And you saw the way Jesus was just constantly in the right place to just be a wall pass for players, but then would just attempt things. Do you remember when he played that little 1-2, I think with Saka, White, whoever it was, and then the ball comes to him on the right channel and he tries to dink it over the left back and run into the box. He got it wrong, but it causes a bit of chaos. So, yeah, Gyökeres, I think, is better than people are giving him credit for. He was never as good as the people who really wanted him thought he was. I said that at the time. I think a lot of people did. his biggest problem now isn't, to be honest, his ability to grow into this team, because I think he can. I think his biggest problem is that Jesus is back and Kai Havertz is going to be soon. And that makes it really hard for Mikel Arteta to pick him over the others at the moment in current form. I hope he starts against Wolves on the weekend. I think he will. I really hope he gets a couple goals. And I hope he gives us something like what he did against Atletico Madrid, against City, against Newcastle, against Burnley, because I really like that version of Viktor Gyökeres. I genuinely think there's a good player in there. But I was getting ripped. Did you guys see that clip of me on the club? I got ripped apart when I said, I think we can win the title with him this year, but I don't think if he's the guy in 2-3 years' time. And a lot of people getting very angry at me. Well, that might have been the quickest, well-aged take in a little while, if I say so myself, because I think a lot of people are already going, for what he may give us this year, we may be back in the market in a couple of years' time. And people see that as a massive negative. It's not. How many top teams outside of having Haaland, Kane, and Lewandowski aren't changing their strikers every few years? Like they are. That's just the nature of what's happening in the window and the football business right now. So I like him, but we need to see more. Sorry for the long answer.
I don't think a couple of years. I think if Gyökeres doesn't buck up his ideas quick, then this summer, because if you think about it, Jesus, right? He's on the way out. Like, as much as we want this season to work out and, you know, him to get his title with us or whatever, he's on the way out. Havertz, I know. Listen, I think him being out injured his stock has risen whilst out injured. You know, we tend to forget the frustrations that he also, you know, brought to us whilst he's like. So, you know, his long-term career still here. And now Gyökeres, I'm looking at and saying, brother, I just need something from you. Like I can use the whole you're not being fed argument for 10, 15 games, cool. But at a certain point, I need you to get that ball and show a certain level of frustration as a striker, not getting chances. Move to a couple of defenders, like Ollie Watkins moved to Nketiah, and I forgot who else on the weekend, right? You know, drop of the shoulder, one's gone, burst away from the other. He's 1-on-1. He should have scored, but he didn't. That's a story for another day. I just need, like, Jesus came on, and Ashley's right. He didn't set the world alight, but when you're starving, anything is something. A little drop of the shoulder in the box, a right foot shot hits the crossbar, and I'm looking at it like, start this guy on Saturday. That's how, you know, fine the margins are in striker, and not good fine margins. It's poor fine margins. That's why any little thing that comes about, wow. The way it's going, I might say Madueke up front, the way things are moving in the next few weeks, because no one's nailing down this spot. And Gyökeres, for me, I like the fact that he did this whole hair thing, right? In the early few weeks of the season, yeah. You use the fact that people are on you. Use the fact there's pressure. You're at Arsenal. You wanted this.
Excuse me.
I like that. But now I'm looking at it like, hold on. You know, you showed a bit of bravado there, a bit of chest, a bit of ego. Every good player needs that. But brother, the performances haven't matched up to that moment of bravado, ego, chest that you showed. After that, I thought, yeah, there's a bit of nastiness to him. There's a bit of, you know, motivation there for him, and I just haven't seen anything. I've been really let down by it, if I'm honest with you. Maybe that's because I had all of the eggs in the Gyökeres basket in the summer. But Jordan, I hesitate to come to you because you've mentioned it a few times already. Even though I'd say you've done it unfairly, because you called Kai Havertz Kaka coming into this side, and with Gyökeres, you've been very, you know, on his case as soon as. Let me unmute you.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't call him Kaka.
I mean, you used the name Kaka in a sentence that was about Havertz, so that's enough.
I think you said, I wonder if he's someone who attacks the box like Kaka did.
No, I said, I wonder if Mikel Arteta thinks that he could be somebody like Kaka. Those are my exact words verbatim. Verbatim.
So you on Mikel. So I wonder.
That's what I said.
I wonder if Mikel thought Gyökeres is Ronaldinho. That's what I wonder.
Anyway, guys, this guy hurts my eyes. He hurts my eyes, man. Watching him play, it's painful, man. It's so bad. And I don't want to repeat what I said last week on the pod, so I won't repeat all of it. But he's not the guy. And one thing I will repeat, which I said about 2 months ago, is if we win this title, it's going to be in spite of him, not because of him. Yeah, I don't want anybody. We become Premier League champions. I don't want anybody telling me, you see, it was right to sign Gyökeres. Whatever happens from here on in, it was a bad signing. At the time, I said it. You know, there were strikers that we could have got that for me were better than him. Yeah, watching him run with the ball. Yeah, it's like watching a BMW X5 with a yellow clamp driving. That's what it's like. It's mad. It's horrible. And you can hear the clunk, clunk, clunk. You can hear that as well. It's so bad. Like, I'm like, brother. Okay, last season I did this with Martinelli. I lowered the bar so much. It didn't even become about scoring goals anymore. It just become, bruv, can you beat your man? Can you get across? Like basic wing play. Can you just beat your man, get across? Just basic. He wasn't even doing that. Same thing with Gyökeres. I'm not even judging him by goals anymore. Forget the goals for a second, which in itself is a mad thing. I'm like, can you just control the ball? Can you just lay off something? Can you? You're 6'3".
You're going too far, Jordan.
No, man.
Because he did do that. Because he did. The ball comes up, he pins the defender, he takes a touch, he spins, and he rolls it into Ben White, who's into the penalty area. So, like, you're right to be critical, but he did do that. Like, he does get in the wars. He is there, like, as a bit of a wall pass for players. Like, I want more, but
not enough for me, James. For a
no,
man
I hear
of
that. I hear that.
He was supposed to be our gunman. I'm looking at, if you can't score the goals, at least give me lots of the basics. At least when the ball comes into you, 8 times out of 10, control it, lay it off. Control it, turn. Like Turkish said, just control it, get a shot off from 30 yards, something. I'm not getting anything from him. And what really, what upsets me and angers me is that the whole fan base, like Turkish said, we're all in on Gyökeres on the premise of one thing: his goal record. That's what everybody said. 104 goals in 2 seasons. You have to get that guy. You have to get that guy. But nobody added context. Nobody thought about. Hang on a minute.
Don't say nobody, because you're having a go at me for doing
all right.
2 minutes ago.
All right.
You know, but a lot of people, the fan base were very divided about this. It wasn't a nobody thing. A lot of people said.
I don't think they were, James.
There were a lot of people went, Gyökeres isn't the guy.
The majority of Arsenal fans were pretty much on, that guy's got 104 goals in 2 seasons. Why are you? Oh, it's a no-brainer. Get that guy. Very few people were like, I'm not sure, you know. There were a few Sesko shouters. There were a few people that wanted Isak, but the majority of people looked at the goal record as the single reason as to why we should have got this guy. And I was looking at his goals. I didn't follow him before we were linked to him, right? I didn't know much about him. So I watched him and I watched his goals. And for me, it was quite obvious. You can't do that in this league. You can't do that in this league. So the goals will not translate. I always caveated my criticism by saying, I think he'll score goals. I think he's a good striker who will score goals. And I maintain that. But he ain't the guy that you lot told me he was. And I knew he wasn't. So you're talking, James, about in the next couple of years looking for another striker. I'm with Turkish. This summer, I'm looking for a striker. Because right about now, we are 6 windows in and Gabriel Jesus is still our best forward. How is that happening? How?
The question is, yeah, did Arteta already know that? Look, this is a business that, like, they live for analytics, statistics, algorithms, all the stuff that they got, computer analysts behind the scenes. They must have known this about Gyökeres before they purchased him. And that makes me think he doesn't want a number 9. He doesn't want the sort of number 9 that we want to have.
I don't think he did. I think he was overruled. I've said before, I think he wanted Sesko. I don't think he wanted Gyökeres. I think he was told by Berta, you're getting Gyökeres, make it work. And in some senses, you may think that's his job to kind of forward plan, but I don't think he wanted Gyökeres, actually. I genuinely don't think he wanted him. I don't.
Well, it's interesting because we sort of, it's almost like the analysis of Gyökeres, and when I see the debates on the timeline, it's like we as a fan base chose him. So he's playing, and then I see people going, see, I told fans he wasn't the one, blah, blah, blah. He's lacking this, he's lacking that. A lot of what you're saying, Jordan, to be fair. And then it's like, okay, cool, but I didn't go and write the check. I didn't go and like send the funds. I didn't go and pick the player and said that's the one. So ultimately, Andrea Berta, Mikel Arteta, and a team of scouts,
it's on them.
We've seen all these things and gone, okay, so what's the upside to him? And I think I've seen upside. I think I've seen downside. But what I think is really interesting, and again, Ashley's touching on it there, he probably signed him because what did he cost, guys? 55 million up front, add-ons up to 65. That is not a big outlay. And at the time, we all went, oh, great deal. Yeah, but Arsenal were never going to do the deal if it didn't come to that, because Sporting probably knew his true value and wanted to get everything they could out of this 100-goal record. Arsenal actually knew his value and probably felt they slightly overpaid to a degree. But they would have done it in the knowledge of, you know what? If he's not the guy, Arteta loves Kai anyway. It's all worked out for Mikel because he loves Kai Havertz. And if it weren't for the fact that Havertz got injured a little bit in pre-season, Gyökeres scored against Bilbao, he probably would have started at Old Trafford. And Havertz probably would have started most of these games had he stayed fit. So I think they saw Gyökeres as if it translates and he jumps up a level like he did at Sporting, like he was doing at Coventry, then great, we've got a gunman. But if he didn't, it's not the biggest outlay, and we've got a load of guys there that Mikel Arteta likes anyway. I think there's a very real reason we didn't just spend the 80 on him in June like we could have. Like we negotiated for so long, we waited so long to get it done because it had to be the right price. Otherwise, Arsenal were going to walk away ultimately. So
I think ultimately they'll be judged. And you're right. I'm attacking the fans, and I'm not doing that because I think the fans signed him and cut the check for him. And I don't think that. I'm just frustrated at how people judge players, and you don't just judge a striker solely on their goal record. But for me, ultimately the Arteta and Berta will be judged by winning the league. If they win the league this year, the fan base won't really care about whether Gyökeres was a good or bad. So I will, because I think there's nuance to be just because you win the league, that doesn't mean that was the right decision. The fan base won't care. They just so no one will discuss it. It won't matter that he's got 11 goals all season if we're champions, right? But I just think that it speaks more to our recruitment of strikers. Whether you want to out and out number 9 or not, I don't really care. But just get the guy that's effective. And I don't think Gyökeres is effective enough to justify him being our main number 1. Kai Havertz is not a brilliant striker, but I think he's more effective for what Arteta wants in his team than Gyökeres is. It's never mind the fact that I just don't like the way he looks. He looks horrible. He doesn't look like an Arsenal striker to me. And that's not important in terms of winning titles. That's just me looking at Arsenal forwards of years gone by, and I know what an Arsenal forward looks like. It's not Gyökeres, and it never was Gyökeres. But if he wins us a title, I'll change my mind. But right about now, it's looking like a really, really bad signings. And I hate this. Like I said, I'll repeat myself. I hate this idea of there were no strikers to get. That's just not true. There were strikers that those 3 clubs I mentioned: Newcastle, Man United, and Liverpool, all signed, who we could have got. Never mind strikers in the league who I mentioned who were available, who I thought we could have got. So I just think it's looking like a really horrible transfer. But the fan base won't care if we win the title.
And it's still early. Like it is. I'm not right. Far from it.
Ekitike is really the one I'm looking at. And Watermard looks good, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not looking at envious at Newcastle for Watermard. And with Man United and Šeško, I don't really care about that either. You know, I'm more frustrated that this one's not working out for us. But ultimately, you're right. For Gyökeres to remain our number 9 going into 26-27, you need to start banging. But with Mikel and Berta, it's all about winning the title. Now, listen, fine margins have let us down over the years in attack, in my opinion. So regardless of how this one works out, whether we win the league with Gyökeres getting 9 goals in a season, or whether we win it and he's got 20 goals in the season, it's all about the Premier League title now. That's all people care about. But if the transfer window open now, and I said we've got 150 million to spend, we're all still saying striker and left winger. We're still saying the same 2 positions we said this summer, right? So there's a lot of emphasis, in my opinion, for these transfers to work out, because it's not just Gyökeres in terms of the attack in general this season hasn't really clicked yet. You know, Gyökeres is the new star striker, big money's come in, and, you know, a lot was made about it. But in general, the attack hasn't really found, and that's why, in my opinion, Trossard's been the best of the lot because he's had the most moments of the lot. But you know, there's been patches this season. We've talked about Eze. There's been patches we've talked about Madueke, even though he's been injured. Saka as well. You know, so Gyökeres, yeah, circumstances haven't been the best for him, but F all that now. You know, you're a striker. You've come in. You've put your hair back when people doubted you. We've moved past that, you know, honeymoon stage. You need to start doing something on that pitch for me. And Jesus come on, done something, and he gets the nod for me against Wolves this weekend. That's how fine the margins are in that position for me now, because even a little something goes a long way. When's Havertz back, James? New Year?
They're saying before Christmas, but I can't believe how many setbacks or how long this has taken. But anyway, yeah, we'll welcome it back.
They spent 55 million on an interim player, bro. An interim 9. That's basically what's happening. Because how is it that we are all chomping at the bit for Kai Havertz or fucking Jesus to come back on the and play? Like, it's just crazy, bro. It's absurd to me. It's absurd.
No, it is absurd.
I think it'll come good.
Because them men have given us headaches in the past. We're forgetting about the headaches they gave us. But Jordan's right, bro. The recruitment has led. James is also right. You know, Gyökeres is seen as the signing for the fans, right? But Arteta and Berta didn't sign Gyökeres because the fans wanted him. They didn't go this far in the process. They did all this analytical stuff they get praised for to land on, well, the fans want Gyökeres, so let's get Gyökeres. No. The club signed him. They saw something, whether it's because financially it fit in more than the others. I don't really care. The club have to get it right in the season, right? This is the season. And it just feels like, again, there's a lot on Arteta, in my opinion, on the attack, because as much as man praises his defense, the structure, the unit, how solid we are, he just, ever since 22-23, we haven't seen an attack that's flowed well for maybe 5 games in a row. We just haven't seen that since 22-23 season. So a lot of it does come down on him. You know, you could look at him in some aspects and say, wow, you know, he's built something here that should be winning. But then you look at the attack and think, but then you have the 90-goal season in 23-24, which was our highest scoring season. It's just a weird one with Mikel. I can't make it out. And Ashley's right. If I'm waiting for Havertz to come back, then you know Gyökeres hasn't done what he's meant to do. Because
can I ask about Odegaard? All of you,
yeah.
Who wants to go first?
It's funny you mentioned that, because I was going to maybe say him for the next pod, but he's getting a little bit under the radar. I think the injury record and coming back has maybe given him a slight pass, but I think there's a chat about Odegaard as well, because he looks lively, but he's still not. I don't think his output still isn't good enough at this point for me. So sorry, James. I don't know if you've got a point on it, but I'm glad you.
I wanted your thoughts. Yeah, Ashley, what do you think of Odegaard?
I think he's coming back and doing what he was doing before, in my opinion. A lot of tippy tappy and changing direction and just all this stuff, glitching. But the output for me ain't outputting. And in some points, I feel like he's slowing us down again. I feel like the attack is getting going. I think like he slows it down. He comes in and just does this control thing, slows it down. Which he's probably being told to do, or you know what I mean, it's probably maybe even the right thing to do at the time. I just don't think I'm all about I'm a creative person, in it, so naturally I just lean towards creativity, and I hate to see robotic stuff happening and you know what I mean, side to side. It just jars me that no one wants to take the bull by the horns and just do something with flair. And he's got some thing about like thinking. Now he's just thinking and trying to dink over everyone, dink. It's just not coming off, bro. Like 1 time out of 10, maybe it kind of clears where he's meant to go or whatever. But it's just not cool, bro. It's just, I get it. He's because he's still actually a good player. He's still actually offering something great, which is control, which is, do you know what I mean? Is a bit of safety. But I just think as the attacking side of him, he's too. I don't know what happened, whether it's because of the injury or whatever. There's just something about his like tenacity. It's just not at the level that I think a player of his stature or where he's playing needs to have.
I think he's taken the captain role a bit too literally. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think early Odegaard was a much more risk-taking player in and around the box. I think when I look at what he is now and maybe what's impacted what he is now, I think a bit of maybe that captaincy, the leadership. I feel like he often wants to dictate, and I think when you're not taking risks, I feel like it's easier to have a good game. When you're a midfielder that's just dropping in, keeping it ticking, popping up 1-2. I think that's quite easy for a midfielder at this level. It's what you're doing in and around the box that he's not really attempting as much as I would like, because he's far too comfortable dropping back a little and dictating when Zubamendi's here now. I get it in seasons gone past, but this season Zubamendi's here and Zubamendi's the best at that, So I don't need Odegaard to drop in as much as he used to drop in, but I think that's the player he is now. I look at him and the way he plays, I just feel like he wants to be behind everything. Whereas a number 10, you don't want them behind everything. You want them in the middle, and you want that person to feed him in that middle bit where 1-2 touches later, it's a goal or it's a chance or it's a save that leads to a corner. He's always the guy that's there rather than in that pocket.
There's one possible answer that none of us have really floated. Maybe he's just not as good as we think he is. Maybe he's just not as good, and I don't want to believe that, because unlike with GYOKERES, I do think there's another couple of levels that Odegaard could get to where he could be more effective. I'm kind of done with GYOKERES, but I'm not done with Odegaard. But that's my opinion. Maybe the reality is that he's just not what we want from him. He's just not that guy. He's just not that guy. I think it's a really good point you made there, Turkish, about his positioning. He does always seem to be about 20, 25 yards deeper than he should be. He should be on the edge of the box, really letting that final ball through. But yet he's getting the ball from Saliba and Gabriel too often. It's like, yo, we've got the chef. Zubi's there now. We don't need you to play that role. We need you putting man through. We need you doing what, I'm very hard on Mesut Ozil. Very hard on Mesut Ozil, right? But one thing Ozil did do well was he would put you through. He's putting you through. He's putting you through. He's putting you through. I don't think there's enough of that from Odegaard, but I kind of fall back on a kind of rule that I kind of lean on in football, right? Which is, if Real Madrid let you go, it's normally for a reason. It's normally for a reason. They don't let go of many players that go on to be better. If they let you go, it's 9 times out of 10 they let you go for a reason. They're like, you're good, but you're not Real Madrid good. You're not the guy that can win a Ballon d'Or or be top level. You're Arsenal good. Do you know what I mean? You're that level good, and that might be the reality. I love Odegaard. I think he's a beautiful player, but what I want from him, maybe what I want from him and what he can give me, maybe they just don't match up.
I don't think this was the platform James expected, but
James... No, I knew you'd get criticised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why did you bring him up? What was your thoughts? You expected more, or you liked what you saw?
I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't know football.
He's taking the life out of him.
I just again, like, he started 3 games: Brentford, Villa, and Bruges, and I think he's been pretty good in all of them. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was amazing. I thought he was good in all of them. I think he was knitting the play together, attempting little things here and there around the box. You're right. He definitely likes that little chip dink pass over the top. He likes that. The best analysis I saw on Odegaard was from Clive Palmer on Arsenal Vision. He said, the problem with having Odegaard instead of Eze was Eze would float around the striker. So basically, there was a balance towards whether we'd move towards the left or towards the right. Whereas Odegaard always wants to be in that right channel. He's regularly trying to combine with Saka or Madueke, whoever it is. So there's a little bit of an imbalance to our attack at times. That's the one thing. It feels like we're trying to play through him. And I do want him getting around the pitch a little bit more. But Jordan, you said, you want to see more in terms of output and creativity. But like, what if that's not what he's being asked to do?
Maybe it's not.
And because I a few years ago, I said he's an 8, not a 10. Because he is someone who, okay, and I know he's not as good as either player, but let's just do a thought experiment for a second. is he more stylistically Thiago or Ozil? For me, he's much more Thiago. Like, Thiago was never a 10, but he would float around the pitch, he'd pick it up deep, he'd move it forward. He had like bags of skill, but in tight areas, he could score the odd great goal. Now, Odegaard never got, and he's not at that level, obviously. But I think we're talking stylistically, he's more that type of player. And I think when you looked yesterday, there were times where him, Marino, and Zubimendi were constantly rotating. So I think Arteta feels they can all do different things. What we want to see Odegaard doing is what Zubimendi did for that second goal, running in the channel and whipping a lovely cross to the back post. And if he'd done that, we would have said, that's creativity, right? We'd have gone, wow, that's so creative from him. But none of us are going, wow, Zubimendi did that. Brilliant. Let's use him in the 10 more often. Because I think the midfield are just constantly alternating. Marino came in as a box-crashing midfielder, as a bit of physicality in our midfield. He's got the most goals of the lot. So what Odegaard did that I liked yesterday, few neat passes, few little passing beyond. Do you remember that time he got the ball quite early in the first half and he played a pass that cut through the midfield to Marino and the game just kind of opened up? That's what Odegaard gives you. But I want to see that pass going into Eze, not into Marino. So it'll be interesting to see how Arteta works that, because if you've got them both in the team, suddenly we're not stressing about Odegaard's creativity because Trossard, Saka, Eze, whoever can give us that. It could be really interesting to see whether he can find combinations with the two of them. So we appreciate that Odegaard pass more because there's someone who's then taking advantage in the final third, as opposed to it being Marino, who's not the best on the half turn, let's be honest. Anyway, was he amazing? No, but I thought he was pretty good. And I think he'll get there.
Just before we move on, Turkish, I know you want to move forward now. Just want to mention the fact that, you know me, like, clean sheets are important. I thought it was really important that we did get a clean sheet. Like, recently there's been way too many dirty sheets, as Sharoy would say, too many skid marks and bust down stains on sheets for my liking. I'm not liking what I've been seeing.
You could have left it dirty sheets. I mean, that was enough. We all,
dirty sheets. We understood.
Yeah, but you know, recently 2s and 1s and nah, man. But so it's important. Let's get back to where we were a month ago.
Jordan's putting that UV ray across the sheets and seeing more.
Yeah, man. Too many nasty sheets out here, man. But the clean sheet, let's get back to where we were a month ago. Let's get Saliba back in the team and let's get these zeros on the opposition.
Sorry, dirty sheets can be, you know, sweaty in the night or something. Why have you gone with skid marks and this? Like well, what extrees do you have to go to before you go?
And then he sips some yogurt drink just casually as well. What's going on here?
A goal against Chelsea is a skid mark on the sheets. That's what I compare it to. You know what I mean? It's not good enough. It's nasty.
You know what? Fine.
Dirty.
A 95th minute winner. You've shit the bed. I agree with that, Villa. I agree with that.
Well, let's look forward. Before we look forward, people, come on, hit the like button. Make sure you hype the video as well. I'm not too sure what it does, but listen, the algorithm, it does something. So make sure you're doing something. It's free. Like, hype, subscribe. Individual channels are in the description below. And big up Ashley each and every time for giving us his time on this Thursday morning. But yeah, Wolves this weekend. It's a chance for us to increase the gap to 5 before City play Palace away from home on Sunday, which ain't an easy game. You know, we all know how well Palace are doing this season, Glasner in particular, the way he plays. So it's an opportunity to, you know, put that gap to what it should be. I think when you look at performances across the season, I just feel like I look at the table and I think this doesn't tell the whole story. 2 points, the goal difference is exactly the same at this moment in time, plus 19 for both sides. It's a chance to fill our boots against Wolves, and it's a chance to hopefully sit 4 or 5 points clear of Man City come Monday morning. Because don't forget, we've got Everton away coming up as well. So a difficult game, but a must-win game at that. So this is, you know, a chance to put the wrongs right in the league and start off another run off the back of our first L in about 18 games. That does look quite damaging when you look at the Premier League table. Man City have just beaten Real Madrid away from home, and I know it's not the same Real Madrid. I know they're in a bit of turmoil, but it wasn't the same Madrid when we beat them either. And look at the feeling it gave us last season in terms of beating them, especially at the Bernabeu. So City seem to be in a good place right now. It's not just Haaland scoring anymore. You know, Foden's and Shirki's and Doku's, they're all doing a little something. So, you know, the title race, if you call it that this early, is heating up, and it's a big weekend. Madueke scored. Jesus came off the bench, a nice little cameo. GYOKERES started. Which players actually for you done enough against Bruges to start this weekend against Wolves? Bearing in mind it's another game that I guess we can rotate a little, rest a little. Who would you start as your front three? Let's go with your front three for the Wolves game.
Trossard's still out, isn't it? He's still out.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume he's not ready.
It would. I would. To be honest, I'd play him. I'd play Saka, Gyökeres, and Martinelli. To be honest, but I think this is one of them. It's one of those games, isn't it, where you slightly like just rotate, man, and just rest everyone or whatever. Then you're gonna get beat, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like these, I know it's Wolves, and I know we're all like their bottom. They haven't done they haven't done nothing, but it's just our luck that they will do something on us. Do you know what I mean? If we if we rotate too much, I'd be reluctant to do that. I'd kind of go with something strong in up front in the beginning, and then as soon as we gain, do you know what I mean? Sad to say, as soon as we gain some foothold, then just drag everyone off and rest people. But I'd go quite hard, to be honest, just to kind of like, this is a real opportunity. If they are going to be the Wolves that we've seen so far, real opportunity for our bagsmen to bag some goals and get confident and feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Going into the next matches. So I would give them that opportunity. I'll give them that opportunity.
So to be fair, though, I don't actually know if we can afford to rotate, which I know sounds crazy, but hear me out, right? So we rotated for Bruges, to be fair. We then got Wolves. We then got a week before Everton. So let's say you don't start Saka. That means he won't have started a game for 2 weeks if he doesn't start this Wolves game. So I think you kind of got to go for him in some of the big guys. What I think you can do is rotate. So you could go, as I mentioned earlier, you could take Zubimendi out and go Rice, Eze, Odegaard, and that you could do something like that. But I don't know if you can kind of just go, you like Norgard at the back will be fine. Like I think basically Timber, White, any fit defender has to start. Because then we've got Palace at home after Everton. So that's another game where you think you're probably going to rotate. And then it's Brighton at home the week after that. So I don't think Saka's going to play 2 games in 3 weeks. Because I don't think that's good for him. And a lot of people weren't happy he came on yesterday. But I think that's the right thing for him to get 20, 30 minutes because he'll probably play Wolves. Probably won't play the whole game, whether he starts or you've got Madueke can come on. And then, like we said, a week to Everton. So, yeah, it's a difficult one. We kind of want to protect players because of the injuries, but also you've got to keep them playing in some way, shape, or form. What was your question, Tex? What our front three would be?
Yeah. But I agree with Ashley's front three, to be honest.
What was it? Sorry, again?
Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka.
So, that would be my 3 if Trossard's not fit. But, Ashley, would you play Trossard if he is fit?
If Trossard was fit, I would have played him. That's why I asked. Because
I think he will.
And the only reason
I think he'll play Trossard. I think Trossard will be fine. And then so I think it'll basically be Trossard, Gyökeres, Saka, and then I think it'll be Eze and Odegaard with Rice behind. I think that's the reason Zubimendi played 90 minutes, if I'm honest. And then the back four will probably be. I have a sneaky feeling Saliba will be okay. I don't know why. Like eventually he's close, has to amount to he's back. Will they risk him or play him? I don't know. So they'll probably go again, White, Timber, Nketiah, Lewis Skelly.
No point risking him a week break afterwards as well. You can have him really fresh, in my opinion. And to be honest, the only reason Jesus doesn't start for me is because I don't know if he's ready to start a game. He's been out for so long. But if he was ready, if Arteta said, I'd be starting him in this game because of that cameo alone. Not that he done much, but he done something. Jordan.
Yeah, I was gonna go to rest Saka, Madueke, Martinelli, and Gyökeres, but I think Ashley's right. We can't take liberties. I think you start Saka. These kind of games are always a bit difficult. We'll do our predictions in a second, but on paper it should be a 3-0, right? A routine 3-0 Saturday evening game. Let's go home, get out of here. But we know as Arsenal fans, these are the ones where you're like, whoa, how did we lose that one? Or whoa, how did we draw that one? And we can't afford to do that. So I think start strong and then make appropriate subs. But yeah, so it's a must win, because if we don't win this game and City do win, yeah, we're in trouble.
I'm not gonna lie, if we don't win this game, I'm asking for someone's head on Monday. That's the sort of, that's how confident I am of this game. Whether that's Arteta, Gyökeres, Wenger, or Kroenke, if we don't beat Wolves,
I said Wenger, you know.
someone's accountable coming Monday. If we don't beat Wolves at home, they are terrible. They are terrible. If we don't score 4 or 5 goals, I'll be upset. Let alone draw to them, lose to them. Nah.
I was going to say as well, I think how we win, I think the performance is important too. You can't be giving me a scraping 1-0. I know some fans will disagree. I think we need to show that we've had a tough run of games, not played great in all of them. Now let's get back to business. Let's get back to performances. Let's look in control. Let's get a clean sheet. Let's get a couple of goals on the board and look like champions elect. Let's start moving like we're the champions, and rather than just scraping some last minute 2. I don't want to see no last minute 2-1 where we're none of that. Impose yourself, dispatch of Wolves like the shit team they are, and let's keep it moving.
I'm with James on that midfield too. Eze, Odegaard, and whoever behind. If Rice ain't fit, Zubimendi he's played. I'd even play Norgard there. I just think you just need a cleaner behind those two against Wolves at home. Let's just see those two with someone behind. I think it's an opportunity to put Norgard there. So that'll be my midfield. Front three is the front three. Let's do predictions then. There ain't much else to talk about with Wolves, really. I mean, they're shit.
No.
2 points all season.
They have been poor.
I'm trying to find a talking point, but I'm not. Yeah.
Well, they said they're shit.
33 goals conceded in 15 games.
Just beat the fight out of them early. First 20 minutes, 2 goals. Just dead the game. You know what I mean? Don't give them a sniff of thinking we can get something here today. Beat the fight out of them early. Do you know what I mean? Make them know it's going to be a long game for you guys. Really fast start, couple of early goals. Let's cruise to victory. That's what I would say on this game. Let's not give them a thinking at 70 minutes. Oh, we could maybe get something here. No. Game's done at halftime.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah. Let me bring the table up. So this is how the table looked before the Bruges game. Jordan and myself both on 13 points, James on 7, the guests on 3. This is how it looks after the Bruges game. I've jumped up a place, so I am now top on 14 points. I predicted a win. I was the only one to predict the win out of us 3 here anyway, as well as the guest. So we both got 1 point. Jordan got nothing. James got 2 points, obviously, because James picked Raya as his star man, so he got the clean sheet and 2 points.
Wow, James.
It's his game, and he doesn't even keep up to date with it. Look at his
I know.
I completely forgot.
Cool.
What a great game. I've come up with a great game, guys. I should license this to other podcasts, other football podcasts.
Universe Games, that's the next channel, the 3rd channel.
Love it. I love it, Turkish. I'm launching that today. Thank you. Everyone go subscribe. It's my 4th channel.
If you can't get enough of James. So this is the prediction table for the audio listeners. 6 games have been played, 6 predictions made. I am top on 14 points. Jordan's got 1 correct score, 13 points in 2nd. James has got 1 correct score, 9 points in 3rd. And the guests, no correct score so far, 4 points on the leaderboard. So that's how it's looking. So I go first on the prediction. I'm going to go Arsenal 4. I'm going to say 5. But I'm going to... What do you mean? I'm going to say 5. If you say then it's likely. So I'm going to say... Oh, it's that sort of...
Okay.
When Turkish comes in big with a result, it never goes well. Never goes well.
I'm going 5-0. 5-0.
Oh no!
And my star man is Saka. That's. No wait. Yeah, Saka. Gyökeres let me down, man. You know I usually go Madueke in these games. I would have had 2 goals. I would have been gone. I went Gyökeres and this guy, man. This guy. But yeah, Saka star man. 5-0 Arsenal. Jordan.
I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. Starman, the chef, Zubi.
Okay. James?
I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. Martinelli.
Martinelli, yeah? 2-0 Martinelli. Cool. Ashley?
I would have said I was gonna go 4. I don't know why 4 popped in my head, but 4-0. I was gonna say Martinelli as well, to be honest.
Cool. You can say that's all good.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a field day.
4-0 Martinelli. What a goal by him as well, by the way. I actually prefer his goal to Madueke. Both bangers. But I just feel like there was more thought behind the Martinelli one, which makes it a bit more difficult. And the way he bent that in. And that's what frustrates me about Martinelli. I know he's got that in him. So start doing that a bit more. Stop cutting in and then just passing it. Like have a goal sometimes.
I think he's a striker, Turkish.
Even if he's that, he hasn't shown enough to be, given the keys, in my opinion. I'm not arguing against that. He might be better there. But there's just a certain level of, I don't know. With an attacker, I want a bit of a what's it? Is it rogue? Is that the word? Sometimes in that game, I want to see things from my attacker that I know Mikel didn't tell him to do. Because the attackers are there to do the magic, the difference, yeah. Because in that moment, I bet Mikel would have liked Martinelli to pass it back and keep possession, not try and bend it top wins from 25 yards. I mean, analytics probably go against someone, advising them to do that. I just need to see more of that from our attack. So hopefully the reins open up. That's our predictions, people. We've all gone win, obviously, home to Wolves. Let us know yours in the comment section below. And on the comment section below, comments of the day. Everyone got one prepared?
I do actually have one.
So do I. I'll start. Just not to set the tone. Well, it might set the tone. But Lil Cam says, surely the loose cannons was named after Jordan. Dude isn't able to hold in his farts.
Yeah. The people. At least I was honest.
We've got a professional with us now. I think.
Hold on. I missed this. What is this?
No. I think it's important we let you know, actually, like, we are professional people. There's one person in this group who drags us down. Otherwise, we're a classy, professional group.
Be nice to Turkish, James. Be nice to Turkish.
We take our content very seriously. And I'm glad you opened with that, Turkish, because I almost didn't read this. I thought, that's a bit crude. Come on, we've got a guest, But Smithy goes, did Jordan fart at 6 minutes, 12 seconds? Jordan, they're on watch. Like, people are sending in time codes.
It wasn't 6 minutes. It was the second half of the pod. I'm pretty sure it was late in the pod. So to know that no.
What?
Now they're just lying on my name now. They're just lying. They're just lying.
So it happened again on the last podcast.
No. I've only done it once. And I flagged it. But it was, I think, late.
He flagged it himself. He called HR himself. He said, yo, there's a madness going on at work.
Sorry to interrupt the point, just to let you know. I mean, you're a disgrace.
So I've got Jordan's fighting on the pod gave a new meaning to loose cannons. I like that one. Yeah. Now, there was a lot of heat, right, for Dylan, our last guest, right? I didn't like it. Like, we have a lot of, we invite people onto this podcast. They're all passionate Arsenal fans. And Dylan got a lot of, he got a bit of a bad rap because he was interrupting. And coming from me, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to defend my man because he was enthusiastic, he was excited, and he made some really, really good points. But some of the points flagged that's fine. But some were a little bit mean, right? So just be nice in the comments. We have these guests on that take their time to come on our podcast and talk football with us. So just bear that in mind. Like, you might not like the guests we have on. Some may prefer Wretch to Ashley, for example, or Idris or Ian Wright. You know what I mean? Some people might prefer other celebrities.
Slightly, he's taking digs. How are you allowing this?
Brother,
that's what I want to know.
Actually,
how are you allowing this, bro?
You tell me the word. You want this full-time slot? This changes tomorrow.
This guy just basically just wrote me off.
I'm just saying. Horses for courses. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Just be kinder to our guests. Just if you've got something nice in the comments, then go and do something with your life, right? So just want to defend Dylan on that one a little bit.
No, what kind of angle was that? You defended Dylan, you were saying the right things, beautiful words. You just slagged off the guest on our current pod.
Basically,
went against everything you were saying.
I'm not slagging him off. I'm just saying, the point I'm making is that it's horses for courses, Jay. and to be fair, there were a few nice pro Dylan comments. So one person said, "My favorite guest of the pod so far. Big up Dylan. Following on all socials. Cool. Just saying." And the last comment I want to put, because it was a nice comment. My first comment on this podcast, and I've been watching for at least 2 years. Previous platform it was on, and I can't believe my first comment is bigging up Jordan. I'm also Jordanian. Okay, I love the way he called out the underlying tone with the good evening, and I think you guys could tackle one or two more issues of the same vein, given how articulate you all speak. Chatting about me and James clearly. Anyways, I still can't. And then he ends it with, anyways, I still can't believe I'm picking up Jordan. Like,
No, can I? No, can I, man?
You like me or not?
Crazy.
What is it? What is it? Pick a lane.
Listen,
Over 1,000 comments this week as well. So big up you guys as well. Just be nicer, be kinder.
yeah, I echo that. Feedback, love it. Feedback, perfect. That's what we need, you know, to know we're doing the right thing, to know what we could do better. But there's a way to put things, people. You know, you're not going to like everyone. You know, some people like tea, some people like coffee, some people like hot chocolate. You can't appease everyone's needs with one cuppa. So that's how you got to look at the show. And we just try and bring a wide spectrum of guests. That was actually the first guest we've had on that goes to every single game. You know, so it's a different perspective. So, you know, just bear that in mind. Like I said, feedback, please give it each and every time. But the way you give it is important too. Don't Jordan it all up. Because listen, we started this show with Ashley Waters, we're ending with Deshane. I'll send you his address, Ashley, and you can you can sort out what you need to sort out.
You do that, my brother. You do.
Yeah, come on. But listen,
Best guest so far. Honestly, this is of all the guests we had some big boy
Jordan.
guests.
Shut up. We get it, bro. We get it.
But Ash, listen, appreciate it. 8 a.m. in the morning. Listen, you secured the slot from early, and listen, we've been patiently waiting, excited about this one. So it's gone better than expected. Pleasure, my bro. Thank you.
Big up you, man. Big up you. Thank you very much.
No worries. So good to do it with you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, not the last one, I hope.
Nah, 100%, man. I'll be back, bro. I'll be back.
Come on, G. Come on. And seriously, if you want to be full time, then I will bump Jordan off. You just let me know.
Yeah, you got my vote. Yeah. We work on a majority voting.
Well,
system.
let's start off Let's start off slow. Let's wait for him to be ill. And I'll start covering. Do you know what I mean? We'll just warm them up, get them used to it, and then bang.
Say no more.
Let's wait for him to
someone actually DM'd me a couple of weeks ago. They DM'd me, right, and said, I like you on what? I got the pod name wrong. I love you on Forever, but I think Sharoy will be better than you. So can you rotate with Sharoy?
When was that?
Huh?
When was that?
About 2 weeks ago.
Brother, this ain't Forever. This is Loose Cannons now.
That's what I'm saying. They got the name of the pod wrong.
Block that person, man. They ain't kept up to date, man. What's going on? Nah. Get the name right, people. Put respect on this podcast. We've got Ashley Waters in the building. You know, whether it's Asher D to you, whether it's
put respect on me.
You've done the Shane adolescence of what this podcast is different. So make sure you like, hype, subscribe. And listen, show Ashley some love in the comment section. And if you didn't like his appearance, then say it, but in a nice way. You know, say it in a nice way. But yeah, Ash, love for that, my bro. James, Jordan, as always, pleasure. Community. On to the next one. We'll be back Monday morning is the next show. So look out for that one, people. But until then, if you're subscribed, the channels are doing what they need to do. Content coming out pretty much every day on James's channel, on my channel, consistent and cool as disabled Jordan. Big plans on the horizon. Big plans. So make sure you go over there, subscribe, and show him some love too. Ashley, good luck with everything, my brother. We'll check in again real soon. And remind the people, 1,000 Blows out January the 9th on Disney Plus. So make sure you watch that. Prepare with season 1. It's a good show. It's on me. And let me know when you do. Love for the love, people. Like, hype, subscribe. We'll see you again on Monday. Peace.